Alright, I'm making an attempt at making my very first YouTube video. I have an art studio downstairs. I'm going to make it into a kind of a YouTube video if I decided to start making some. I, um, I've never made a YouTube video. I'm not even sure how to put the heading on it or anything like that. I just watch them. But what I want to do is get a like-minded community together. It might start off small. I don't care how big it gets, as long as I get the right people. Um, my kind of channel is life is but a dream, quantum of consciousness. People who put real thought and have some real ideas about what this world is about. The religions, the governments, the institutions. I listened to Jordan Maxwell for years, Santos Bonacci. There's a channel I watch called Life is But a Dream. Tony explains it well. I listen to Quantum of Consciousness because Matt's got a lot of great ideas, and he puts a lot of thought into how reality works. He calls it the not milk, which is Clinton spelled backwards, but it's nothing political because there is politics is a sham. And right now I'm in the middle of dissolving my human consciousness. That's all what Jesus was talking about. Jesus was not saying, worship me, do this, do that, or you will face the fires of hell. The fires of hell are the lower consciousness, the lower chakras, the hellfire desire, the desire of the heart. If you rearrange the letters of heart, it's earth. Um, the Bible is so misunderstood, and it coincides with the teachings of Buddha, Krishna, every ascended master, even Dolores Cannon, every spiritual mystic, every Christian mystic. They all have the same idea, and it's all about dissolving the consciousness. There's a book called The World in Between Heaven and Hell by Emanuel Swedenborg. He also has a couple books, Secrets of Heaven, and it's not literal. And when people read literal things, they are not aware. B, they are judgmental, and they just don't get it. And it's confusing for them. But once you start, consciousness is like a radio dial. It goes from 0 to 100, and there is no, there is infinite points in between. And like I said, Tony of Life is But a Dream, I believe, has reached the equilibrium of God, where he knows what love isn't, and he knows what love is. Love isn't where I love you, but there's conditions. We take on concepts, conditions, terms. We fall in love, deeply in love. We develop these concepts where, okay, it's agreed that I am the center of your world. If you notice, Nikola Tesla, Leonardo da Vinci, all these guys never had a woman in their life. Not because they couldn't, they just didn't see a reason to merge corporations. When you get married, you're merging a corporation because you are yourself a corporation, which is considered a corpse. There are two yous, the private you and the you that does commerce. The commerce cannot do any business in court. The commerce is in all capital letters. and the commerce is grounded to earth. Or I'm sorry, the character is grounded to earth. When you identify with that character, you may even be doing it without realizing it. Um, earth is a giant magnetic machine run by time. It is an entity, it is a machine, and it can work for you or against you. It is a spot of beauty, but it's also dualistic. Nature is beautiful, but the lion also has to eat the gazelle, has to eat the impala, the crocodiles, the alligators, the fox, all have to eat all these carnivores, and it's not pretty. It's not a beautiful sight to watch a lion tear apart a gazelle. I mean, people develop these characters, and people are scared to use the word love. They act so interested in the life death cycle, and the life death cycle to the Hindus, the end of it is called Moksha or Nirvana, where you shed all the human concepts enough to where you need to no longer engage in this. This is like a school, but it's also very real. Life is a dream, but yet it is very real. You take on these concepts. We develop attachments. One of mine is this: I smoke about 3 cigarettes a day, I vape, and I drink pop. And to me, that's an attachment that I had to dissolve. And to dissolve it is to figure out what love is not. Um, love is not meeting someone, telling them you can't live without them, because you can live without anything. Um, jealousy, love is not jealous. Um, Sometimes they have altercations, that is not love. Um, you break up and you say, well, I was immature and this person wasn't right for me. Well, the next person comes along, it's the same thing. You pour on the persona, and you have nothing. You think of love as this person is doing something for me. He loves me or she loves me. They don't do something for you, it hurts your feelings, whether you like to admit it or not. I've seen so many people with these philosophies, like the lion, they compare themselves to the spirit animal. The lion walks alone, the lion suffers in silence, the lion does this. The the one at equilibrium with God does not suffer. It doesn't care if the tiger disobeyed them or disrespected them. There's so many um, tales and philosophies with these animals and different stories. But the truth is, love is unconditional. It's uninfluenced. It has nothing to do with what goes on here. As a matter of fact, Source does not even uh, recognize the individual character, because we Tony from Life is But a Dream explained it beautiful. He had a piece of paper and said, pretend this paper is infinite. That's what we are, infinite. All possibilities, no restrictions. And we come into this body, and this body starts developing concepts. Concepts of what is acceptable, what beauty is, what, um, you start liking sports teams, you start just doing certain things, and it's acceptable. When you do something that's not acceptable, people will tell you. They will be like, "What are you doing? You're crazy. This has nothing to do with the real life problems." Life consists of going to school, getting a public education, furthering your education through college or trade school, getting a trade. Um, it's all about my life is going great because I have this car, I have this awesome looking girlfriend, I have everything possible. But in 100 years, your girlfriend is going to be back in the ground, you're going to be back in the ground, your car is going to be back in the ground, if not all rusted out. Nothing lasts forever but the word earth and sky. That's the song from, let me think of it, Kansas. It's called Dust in the Wind. And it's confusing, but it's simple. If we go back to what love really is, we must first know what love isn't. We live in a system that has been set up by none other than the Catholic Church, the Pope. The Pope is the most powerful man in the world. The royal family is right alongside of him. If you notice, the royal family is so ritualistic, and the word ritualistic comes from spiritualistic. There are certain things they can and cannot do. They can't just live. And my personal opinion is they are different incarnations of we are. There's no love in the family. Princess Diana, Meghan Markle, they were not commoners. They have bloodlines to the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers. They're bankers now. Monarchy never died. They just went into the banking system. And in 1306, the Vatican declared ownership of the whole world and all souls in it. Our birth certificate was created. We became corporations. A corporation is a corpse. There is a you, which is alive and personal, and then there is the you that has to do the commerce, which includes court. You cannot go to court under your other name. The judge asks you to state your name for a reason. It's to acknowledge that you are that person on your birth certificate. I have to shut this off. And the court system is also um, part of it. The monetary system, the court system, all of it is around maritime admiralty law. All the terms are aquatic. The currency flows along the banks. Um, there's liquid assets. You're drowning in debt. The court has a bailiff, a docket, and if you notice, a captain of a ship, uh, a judge, or a priest can marry you. They join the two corporations. And if you notice, a priest's collar, it's the cube, it's the Saturn cube. Saturn has a perpetual hexagon storm at the North Pole, and when you flatten it out, it is the cube. And even the wedding rings represent the rings of Saturn. The Kubica on Mecca is a representation of Saturn. When Moses, or I'm sorry, when Muhammad saw it was the age of Aquarius, and they were still worshiping the bull, he smashed all the golden calves, and he went around the Kubica 7 times. There's 7 rings of Saturn, and Saturn is the ruler of time, and everything in time has a beginning and an end. It creates to destroy, and in the Hermetic principles, in the realm of time, everything has a birth, a death, a birth, a rise, a death, and a rebirth. And this goes on and on as long as you reciprocate the human consciousness. Now, outside of time, there is no such thing as reciprocating anything. You just are. And I'm going to try to make a second video. This is my first attempt, so I'm going to try to title it, I don't know what I'm doing, but if you see it, please give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you think, even if you think I need to do things better, be a little more professional. I'm just recording it as I think it, but I have a lot more to say on this subject, and I think we can learn from each other. Thanks. Have a good day.